Let's talk about a word we all know, a word that carries a lot of weight: cancer. But for the next few minutes, we're going to set aside the fear and just get into the science, the core biological story of what's actually happening. We hear the word all the time, right? But what does it really mean? What's going on at a microscopic level? Let's treat this like a little investigation. Our mission is to uncover the fundamental process behind this really complex disease. So before we can even begin to understand disorder, we have to appreciate order. And let me tell you, a healthy human body is an absolute masterpiece of organization. I want you to try and picture this. Your body is like a massive, bustling city with about 30 trillion citizens. Each one of those citizens is a single cell, and every single one has a specific job to do that keeps the whole city running. The scale is it's incredible to even think about. And just like any well-run city, there are rules, strict rules. Every one of those 30 trillion cells has to follow its genetic instructions to a T. They only grow when they're told to, they divide in this perfectly controlled way, and, this part is absolutely crucial, they die when they're supposed to. When they get old or damaged, they're programmed to self-destruct. It's a process called apoptosis. Okay, so our investigation now leads us right to the heart of the matter. What happens when just one of those 30 trillion citizens decides to go rogue? So let's quickly recap our model citizen, the normal cell. It listens to its DNA instructions, it respects its neighbors, and it knows exactly when its time is up. It is the ultimate team player. And now, meet the rule breaker, the cancer cell. It all starts when its DNA, its instruction manual, gets damaged. And because of that damage, it just starts ignoring all the signals. The signal to stop growing? Nope. The signal to die? Completely ignored. It becomes this renegade cell with one single relentless mission: multiply. I mean, this really lays it all out, doesn't it? It's the ultimate showdown, control versus chaos. Normal cells have a built-in expiration date, but cancer cells? They basically achieve a kind of immortality, just dividing and dividing forever. This is the fundamental switch from order to rebellion. Now, a single immortal cell is a problem, for sure, but the real danger, the thing that turns this into a threat for the entire city, is when that chaotic behavior starts to spread. And this is where we have to make a really important distinction. See, when these rogue cells multiply, they form a mass we call a tumor. Now, a benign tumor is kind of like a rebel gang that stays in its own neighborhood. It's a problem, but it's contained. A malignant tumor, on the other hand, is different. Its cells are invasive. They have the ability to break away and travel. And that journey has a name: metastasis. It starts when a malignant tumor grows and its cells manage to break into the body's highways, the bloodstream or the lymph system. From there, they can ride along to a totally different part of the body, say the lungs or the liver, and set up a new colony, a new tumor. And that is how cancer can become a body-wide disease. So we've tracked our rogue cell, we've seen how it spreads, but now we've hit the big reveal of our investigation. We've been talking about cancer this whole time as if it's one single villain. But it's not. The word cancer is actually an umbrella term. Get this, it covers more than 100 distinct diseases. Lung cancer is a totally different beast from skin cancer or leukemia. They start in different cells, they have different genetic problems driving them, and that's exactly why there's no single cure for cancer, because you have to fight each one of these diseases in a different way. So what's the common thread? What ties all these different illnesses together under one name? What's the solution to our mystery? Well, it's this one defining feature: the uncontrolled, chaotic growth of cells that have broken the most fundamental rules of life. So knowing the biology is one thing, but why is this knowledge so critical for all of us? Well, because understanding is always the first step toward taking action. When you know that cancer starts out as just a small group of rogue cells, you immediately get why catching it early, before it has a chance to spread, is so incredibly important. When you know there are over 100 types, it makes perfect sense why treatments are so varied and personalized. And it shows us the real goal of all the research: finding smarter ways to target those rule-breaking cells without hurting the healthy ones. You know, in the end, it really all boils down to this simple idea. By demystifying the biology, we can start to transform a scary word into a solvable problem, a problem that science, medicine, and human creativity can work together to overcome. And that leaves us with one final thought. The entire massive problem starts at the microscopic level, with just one cell's broken DNA. And it makes you wonder, the next monumental breakthrough, the next huge leap forward, might not be some giant machine. It might be something just as small, a new way to find or maybe even fix that very first broken cell. Thanks for joining me.